Hello again, L2 students, instructors, and OpenCPN friends. Welcome to the latest installment in solving L2 navigation problems using OpenCPN. Today we're going to be looking at Level 2 Navigation Exercise 5 using the reciprocal flip line of position bearing method that I explained back in the previous video. So let's take a look at the problem. Problem 5 is a 3-bearing fix problem where we're leaving buoy RWCR at 0800. So at time 0800 we're going to be leaving buoy RWCR up here to the north near the Clinton River and heading down to buoy G27 here in the shipping channel. Let's go ahead and draw that run line. I'm going to start a new route here up at buoy RWCR, and I'm going to head down to G27, and I'll zoom in. G27 is right there. I'll drop my mark there, escape out of that. Now I'll go right down there and make sure that I've got that route point right on that buoy, and likewise I'm going to go up here and make sure that I have my route point right on that buoy, and then I'll look at we'll look at this run line, and we'll see that that is a true course of 168 degrees true, 176 degrees magnetic. So we'll go back and fill that in on our problem set. The true course of 168, magnetic course 176 magnetic, and with the 3 degrees given compass deviation, that is a course per standard compass of 173 degrees. So we'll fill that in. Now let's take a look at this using a ship's log approach. So we'll call up our ship's log here, and we'll look at time 0700. We're at buoy RWCR. We have our course from that start point at 0845. We're going to perform a 3-bearing fix using our handheld bearing compass, and our magnetic bearing to buoy G1PH at 0845 is 300 magnetic, which is 292 true, and a reciprocal true bearing of 112. At that same time, our bearing to buoy G1MC is 350 magnetic, which is 342 true, and a reciprocal true heading of 162. And at that same time, our bearing to buoy R6 is 060 magnetic, 052 true, reciprocal 232 true. So let's go ahead and plot our 3-bearing fix. First of all, I'm going to take our run line here and simply delete it because it's only going to clutter things up, and on the L2 homework you're not required to plot the original run line. That's not part of the assignment, but we are going to go ahead and plot our make this look a little bit more like the chart 14850. So we see here that we're going to be plotting our magnetic line of position bearing to G1PH of 300. So I'm going to establish a new route. I'm going to start it right at G1PH. I'm going to go magnetic 300, which is 292 true. I'm going to drop a pivot point. I'm going to do my reciprocal flip right along that pivot point and bring it back to here, and that is my first line of position. My second line of position is going to be 350 to buoy G1MC. So I'm going to go up here to G1MC. I'm going to do a route here. I'm going to start my route there and go up to 350 magnetic, 35349 drop a pivot point, do my reciprocal flip right across buoy G1MC, and that gives me 2 of my bearing fixes right there. And the last one I'm going to do is buoy R6, which is a magnetic line of position of 060. So I'm going to go 060, 059, 060, 060, drop that right there, come back across my reciprocal flip, leave that bearing right there, and now what I have is in fact a nice 3 bearing fix right here. I'm going to take that, I'm going to drop a mark right there, put it right in the middle of my 3 bearing fix. I'm going to call up the properties, and I'm going to call that 0845 fix, and I'm going to keep that a square because it is a fix. And there I can look at those conditions and check those properties, and I see that it's 42 degrees 32.8 minutes north latitude and 082 degrees 46.6 minutes west longitude, which is the answer to the next part of the problem. So let's put that right up. So let's go back and solve for our speed made good from buoy RWCR to our fix, and we'll do that simply by starting a new route from our fix. We'll measure the distance from our fix back to RWCR, and we see that that distance is 2.91, 2.9 nautical miles. That distance right there. I turned the lines of position dark yellow so that they wouldn't clutter things up. So the answer to our speed made good problem is simply 2.9 nautical miles times 60 divided by 45 minutes gives us a speed made good of 3.86, 3.9 knots. The next thing we want to do is know the actual distance and course from our fix to our destination of G27. So again, I'm going to go up to my fix. I'm going to start a course right there at my fix, which I'm going to do a new route, start it there. Yes, I want to start at that waypoint. I'll drop my new VR rub line from the fix down to G27. That'll give me, make sure that that's right directly on top of that mark. And so now I know by highlighting that route, I know that has a true heading of 172 degrees, a magnetic heading of 180 degrees, and a length of 3.1 nautical miles. So let's go back and fill that in. And so there you have it, L2 Nav exercise 5 solved using OpenCPN and the reciprocal flip. That's all for this time. I hope you're enjoying these videos. See you next time.